Now to some frightening video from right here in New York City. It shows a man trying to abduct a child as a grandmother of 3 small children walk into frame to the left of your screen. A man covered in a blanket approaches, suddenly swoops down, yanks the young girl from her grandmother's grasp and runs.
When the stranger appears, police say he suddenly grabbed her, stepped forward, then tried to drag her. Kennedy letting out a piercing scream.
How long have you been doing this?
12 years now.
How many pedophiles you caught?
288.
How many kids you found?
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
But she'll disappear for good. Imagine walking into a room right now, seeing an empty bed. What we do?
You quit your job, and you go and rescue those kids.
So at this moment, she could be a block down the road, or she could be in Moscow, Bangkok, LA. She's a major operator.
It's all rebel territory. No one goes in. Not the army, not the police, not us.
What if this was your daughter? This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
When God tells you what to do.
God's children are not for sale.
Hello, my name is Michael Morley, and I'm here to review Sound of Freedom. Now, this movie is a very controversial, very distressing stuff that's happening in the real world, still happening, child sex trafficking. This film, really tells you how kids are fooled and how parents are fooled into sex trafficking. And more than half the time, they don't even know that they are involved in sex trafficking. How it all starts is something like someone pretending to be a talent scout, someone noticing a child that has talent, wants to be an actor or a singer. They persuade the parents and make it think they're getting signed to some talent agency, but it turns out that it's actually they get them to take pictures, like a photographer comes in to take pictures of them, and they get them to dress a certain way, to obviously pursue the buyer, who is the pedophile, to, do his, you know what I mean. And it's very, this movie really displays truth, it's controversial in its own way. And this movie has actually been rejected so many times. This film was shot 5 years ago. They shot it and wrapped it in 2018, and it took them till now, 5 years later, for this movie to actually get a release, because so many distributors just passed on it, and they didn't want it. They didn't want people to see, they just wouldn't take the risk to buy it, to distribute this movie because of the controversial content in this film. And I gotta be honest with you, I've seen worse things. I've seen Quentin Tarantino movies. I've seen stuff in Martin Scorsese movies that are way more controversial than this in content, violence. It's just the subject that's controversial about human child sex trafficking. And they're really, it's not like you're seeing things about children getting, naked. It's very self-explanatory. It's, you know what's going on, but they don't show you, which is, we don't need to see that, but we get it. It stars Jim Caviezel. You may know him from Persons of Interest. You may know him as Jesus Christ from The Passion of Christ and this other movie that I really like called Frequency. He plays a undercover cop who specializes in child sex trafficking. He tries to, find pedophiles. He will locate them. He will even pretend to be certain people, he's a bit of an actor. He will act his way to gain trust from these pedophiles so he can find the pedophile ring, so he can obviously arrest them, and then, gathers more information about finding where these kids are. And he's always been a person who's always caught the pedophiles. He's always caught every pedophile, caught about apparently 288 pedophiles. That's what he said in the movie. I'm very sure he's caught more now, but he had never found a child. He never had found like a child to bring home, and this is where he goes, look, I want to actually find a kid, and I want to bring the kid home to the family. And just to get to that point for him, he had to even quit his job just so he could do it. And, you know, they put in so much money, the cops, the police department put in so much money to pretend that he's like this guy that's got so much money that he's willing to put in so much money to have this like sex ring so he can get hundreds of kids into this one area on an island, so he can obviously save all these kids and bring them back to the family. And it's a good movie. This is a really good movie. Jim Caviezel does a fantastic job playing this part, and you know, I don't think I've seen him play a better performance since Jesus Christ, since he played him. The other actors who play supporting roles are amazing. I really recommend this movie. I can't really fault it. It was made on a certain budget, and you know, for what it is, it was like they just believed in it and said, yep, we're going to make this movie. We're going to get it out there. And it is a one of a kind of movie. Like, I have not seen any other movie that focuses on this kind of subject, this sort of storytelling, this, you know, child sex trafficking. I mean, yeah, we need more movies like this, you know, and I'm glad that this movie is making so much money domestically, and it just came out here to Australia, and it's coming out internationally to other countries, and it's actually getting word of mouth. Like, it's making a lot of money. It actually made its budget back 2 days within its release in the United States. It's already made nearly $200 million domestically alone, which is incredible. This movie is going to be an Oscar contender for sure. I highly recommend this movie. Go support it. 10 out of 10.
Hear that? That's the sound of freedom.